headache? Or just hidden? Okay. Oh, thank you so much, everyone. I promised that I will be coming again live. I did promise that I'll be coming again live. Just a moment. Just a moment, please. Okay. I already finished the boundary topic. So I'm going on to another topic. It's also a very important topic. I'm just trying to prepare us as we get into 2026. That's what I'm trying to do. So I'm just saying to us that we need to prioritize certain things in 2026, as well as put boundaries to certain things as well in 2026. So these are the things we'll be doing today. Let me just try and focus the camera properly. If I focus the camera properly, I think it's going to be better. Just a moment, please, everyone. I'm so sorry. Maybe if I put it like this, it's clear enough, and it will be properly clear if I put it like this. So please, just a moment. We are extensively discussing. We're extensively discussing, and tonight, I want to talk about a topic. It's just a 2-word topic. Say no. That's just the topic. Is that simple? It's a 2-word topic. Say no. Say no. So we're going to talk about, it comprises of why you should say no, why saying no is important, and the meaning of no. So to say no means to disagree, and it's not out of place to disagree. It means to decline. It's not out of place to decline. It means to refuse a request. It's not out of place to refuse a request or an idea or an offer. So you saying no or declining to an offer is supposed to be to your detriment. But sometimes, or most times, if you say no, it means it's to your benefit. So in a nutshell, saying no is to decline, is to disagree, is to refuse an idea or a request or an offer. That's what we mean by saying no. I know it's quite difficult for a lot of people to say no to things. I know it's quite tasky for us to say no. But in 2026, we should be ready to say no. We should be ready to say no to things that. Thank you so much, Osaze Ogbamudia, for coming on my life, and thank you for liking. It's proper to say no to something that doesn't align to your value, something that doesn't align to your personality. It's important to say no. So saying no is prioritizing you and your need. That's what it means to say no. Some people will say, what does she have to say now? Just listen. If you have any suggestion or if you have any question, you can ask me. You can put it on the live stream, or ask me ask me privately. I would gladly answer you. Now, why should you say no? You can say no if it doesn't align with your values. You can say no. Don't be scared to say no in 2026. A lot of us, we didn't do so well today in 2025 because we lack the ability to say no to things that doesn't align with our values. We lack the ability to say no to things that wasn't meant for us. You know you can say no. Thank you, Flick Snippet, for joining and coming on my life and for putting a like there. Thank you very much. And thank you, user 96. I can't. The numbers are long. Thank you also for joining. We lack the ability to say no. Why do you have to say no? If it doesn't align with your value, say no. Just say no. If it doesn't align with your value, it's not out of place if you say no. Why do you have to say no? No is a powerful act of setting boundaries. I've talked about boundaries before. Go look at my previous discussion. You would see that I extensively talked about setting boundaries. And I talked about how boundaries should be and how that is not pride if you set your boundaries clear, concrete, and consistently. It's a powerful tool for setting boundaries. And it is the act of maintaining autonomy. It's that act of maintaining your power over your time, over your energy, and over your money. Look, when people reach out to you to be somewhere, let's talk about time. People reach out to you to be somewhere and you can't be there. Don't destroy yourself. Politely send them a message. I can't be there. I'm so sorry. That's you saying no. That's you prioritizing you. Prioritizing your need. If you have to be at home or you have to do some study or you have to go to the shop to get some groceries and somebody says, I need you at this point in time. You have the power, the autonomy to say, no, I can't be there. Why do you have to put yourself in a tight spot and in a tight corner just to please somebody? Yes, they're going to say you're good. They're going to say you're nice. They're going to clap for you. But at the end of the day, you're going to be bitter with yourself. You know why you're going to be bitter with yourself? Because you couldn't say no when you have to say no. Saying no gives you that power over your time, over your energy. When you feel the need to relax, you feel the need to rest, and somebody wants you to do something for them, probably to run errands for them or to do something for them, you can politely say no. Give a very, very cogent reason. We're coming there. Do not over-explain yourself. Give a cogent reason for you saying no. That, okay, I think, can I do this some other time? I think I need to rest. If the person really wants you to help them, they could say, okay, go and rest. You would you can do it some other time. Not them forcing you to do it at their time. If they keep forcing you to do it at their time, you are tired. It's your energy. You're tired. You could say no. Don't force yourself to be there. You know what I found out in life or about life? No matter how good you are, somebody out there is still going to say you're not good enough. So should that stop you from being good? No. Should that set boundaries? Yes. That should set boundaries. Okay. The fourth thing is that it helps you focus on what truly matters. You know, it's so painful and hurting when you live a life without meaning, a valueless life, a life where everyone just does the rat race. Let me tell you what a rat race is. A rat race, I can explain rat race because I have seen rat race. So I could properly explain rat race. Rat race are those races you see rat they just run. They just keep running. The whole time a rat or rats are running. No medal, no gold medal, no silver medal, no bronze medal, but you always see them running. That is the kind of life a lot of us lived in 2025. Rat race. We just started running. No value. No value for anything. We didn't focus on what truly matters. Please, as you go into thank you, Angus Usas, for joining. Thank you for the like as well. As you go into 2026, try to put rat race by the corner and focus on what truly matters. If it doesn't matter, if it doesn't align with your value, just say no. Do not say no in a rude manner. Do not say no arrogantly. Just say no politely. It helps you to avoid burnout. Do you know why a lot of us had burnout in 2025? Because we couldn't say no. What am I going to use as an example now? Let's use the money. Let's use money. Someone reached out to you for a certain amount of money. Thank you, Negat, for joining my life. Thank you very much. Someone reached out to you for a certain amount of cash. You don't have it. Why do you have to go borrow? You don't have it. Why do you have to go borrow? And you finished borrowing, or somebody lend you the money or whatever. You're thinking of how to pay it, and it's telling on you. That's why you have burnout. That's why you struggled with burnout in 2025. That's why you had the feeling of unhappiness. Thank you so much, Flick Snippet, for the gift. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for the stars and the diamond and everything. Why? Why do you have why do you not know that you need to focus on what matters? 2026 is just by the corner. We have 3 more days to 2026. Focus on what matters by saying no. We've talked about focus on what matters by setting boundaries. Focus on what matters by saying no. You have the power. Imagine somebody who reached out to you in January. He reached out to you for certain amount of cash. And he said, I want to use it to buy a charger to charge my phone. You gave that person. In June, that person reached out to you again for that amount of money. I want to use it to buy a charger to charge my phone. You gave. In October, that person reached out to you. How can one person be asking you for money for 3 times for a particular thing? Why can't you not put boundaries? Why can't you not tell the person, I'm sorry, not this time? You have the right to tell the person, I'm sorry, not this time. Please, as you go into 2026, prioritize saying no. Prioritize saying no. Politely, not rudely, not with disrespect, not arrogantly. But just say no if it doesn't align with your value. No matter how good you think you are, they're not going to give you any medal for being good. And they're not going to give you any medal for being bad. Just do the right thing. But when it's time, when you have to put yourself first, please do it with all joy to avoid burnout. You don't want to burn out in 2026. Another thing is it helps you maintain your authenticity. A lot of us are living fake lives. We are fake. I'm saying it from the four corners of my mouth. We are fake. You're living fake life because you can't say no. Because you want to be loved and you want to be approved by everybody. You want everybody to say, oh, she's so nice. Do you think you can be nice? No, you can't be 100% nice. At the time where you prioritize yourself, that's when you get people saying, I thought she was nice. She wasn't that good enough. So it's not out of place when you prioritize yourself. And be authentic in 2026. What is it, for God's sake? Be authentic. Just tell yourself, I want to be authentic in 2026. I want to be able to wear what I can afford. I want to be able to live where I can afford. I want to be able to attend school where I can afford. I want to be able to do things that I can afford. That is you saying no. Will you say no? When you're able to say no, you would be able to achieve all of these things I'm saying. But if you can't say no, that's when you fake it till you make it. That was where we got this slang from, fake it till you make it. Not everyone wants to fake it till they make it. In the first place, what does it mean to make it? Like, what does it mean to make it? Make yourself. That's what, in my own opinion, make yourself. That's what matters. Buying the latest car, building the latest house, they are important. They are not out of place, but live a fulfilling and valuable life. Say no when you have to say no. Living in alignment with your goals and values. Have you set goals for 2026? Have you set your goals for 2026? If you haven't, please, as soon as we finish this live, go and set up your goals for 2026. In 2026, I want to be able to do this course. In 2026, I want to be able to be working here. In 2026, I want to be able to move from one room to 2 rooms. In 2026, I want to be able to achieve this, that. These are your goals. Make it as clear as possible. I'm going to make a separate video for setting up your goals and objective. It's going to be a very short one. So that's not going to be live. I'll just do a pre-record and post it so you can all listen. But if you want me to do it live, put it on the comment section. Tell me, no, that topic, I want you to discuss it live. Do things, set up your goals, and do things that aligns with your goals in 2026. And if you have to say no to whatever doesn't align to your goals and values, say no. It's very important. Thank you so much, Angosu Sas, for gifting me. I'm very grateful. Okay. Another thing why you should say no is that it builds your self-respect and build your self-esteem. In the morning, I talked about people who lack self-esteem. One way to know people who lack self-esteem are those people who wants to pull you down with their words or with their action. They want to be in a rat race with you. That is one way to identify those who lack self-esteem. But if they say no to things that doesn't add up to their value, thank you so much. Ooh, thank you so much, Flick Snippet. Thank you so much. If they want to add to their value, they can say no when it doesn't align with them. They can say no. Thank you so much for this gift. I'm very grateful. Flick Snippet, number one fan in the club. But let's carry on. Again, Rose, thank you. Thank you so much. Let's carry on. It helps you build your self-esteem. A lot of people do not have self-esteem. No self-confidence, no self-esteem. But when you say no, it builds it. Now, let me quickly chip this in. Don't be scared to be alone. You know why some of us can't say no? We are scared to be alone. And some people will come and say, don't be a loner. Don't be a loner. What is a loner? I don't understand. What does a loner mean? A loner is someone who doesn't talk to anyone, who doesn't relate with anyone, who doesn't speak with anyone. That is who a loner is. But somebody who has cleared boundaries and somebody who is not scared of saying no is that person who's not scared of being alone. You can be alone and not a loner. What do I mean by being alone? Tell yourself, okay, this time I prioritize myself. I want to be able to get here. I want to be able to achieve this. I want to be able to achieve that. Being alone doesn't make you a loner. You have to relate with people, that is fine. But if they don't align with your value, can you please, in 2026, look for those who aligns with your value? Can you please, in 2026, say no to things that doesn't align with your goals and values? Can you please say no in 2026 if you know it's going to drain your energy? If you know it's going to drain your money? It's going to sap your money? Can you please say no if you know it's going to drop your confidence? Say no. It's a 2-word series. Say no. Say no. In 2026, that is if it doesn't align with your values. That is if it doesn't align with your personality, with who you are. A lot of people are struggling with addiction at the moment because they refuse to say no. They're struggling with all of these things because they refuse to say no. A lot of people are in the prison today because they refuse to say no to certain things. Someone say, I want us to go out tonight. You were supposed to say no, but you were scared of, oh, she's my friend. If I say no, it's going to look like I betrayed her. Let me just go with her. And today, you are somewhere you never planned to be because you refuse to say no. Please say no. Also, why is saying no important? It prevents overwhelming feeling. Like I said before, which is burnout. You're already tired. Somebody reached out to you to say, can you please do this for me? You're already tired. You have 2 options. It's either you say no or you tell the person, can I do it some other time? Which is not out of place. You could tell the person, yes, you can do it some other time. And don't be scared to say no. Stopping you from taking too much reduces your stress. It stops you from taking too much. I said in the morning, don't be a personal therapist to your partner every single time. Because when you take in too much, you become exhausted, you get the burnout, and that's when you start being grumpy. If you see something that you can't help anymore, tell that person, no matter how much you love that person, it's time to go see a therapist. I am not your therapist. Is it because you don't care? No, that's not because you don't care. But because when you take in too much, you're going to have burnout and you're going to have overwhelming feeling. And lastly, why we should say no is that it amplifies our relationship. It builds our relationship. In the first place, why would you get angry when your partner or somebody you love, why would you get angry when you say no? Like I said before, the only reason to get angry is you saying no without a reason. And now we will come there. Not every time when you say no, you have to give a reason. You don't have to every single time because you say no, you don't have to give your reason every single time, but giving reason makes it better. Yes, giving your reason makes it better. So please, I am just trying to prepare us for 2026. I myself, I am learning as well. I had to think of, okay, what can I say to people, to these people listening to me and watching me that can help them in 2026? I just come up with a topic. Say no, boundaries, peace. These are the 3 topics I've talked about. These things just come to my mind. I didn't get it from anywhere. I didn't see it from anywhere. I just like, okay, how do I marry say no into you achieving in 2026? Okay, in my head, if you say no to something that doesn't align with your value, you can have the time to pursue something that aligns with your value. Imagine you setting goals. Let me just talk about setting goals now. Imagine you setting goals and objective. Okay, I'll put it in another discussion. But if you set your goals, you itemize them and they're like 1 to 6. You're trying to meet up with 1. Number 1, it's not working. What do? Don't get stuck on number 1. Okay, Angus say, he said, learning to say no is not pride or wickedness. It's often maturity. That's so true. Thank you so much for the gift. That's so true. It's not out of wickedness. It's often a sign of maturity. We are getting there. We'll keep talking about it. Okay, there are some common misconceptions to saying no. People have this misconception. I'm coming to what Angus Osas have just said. Saying no is not pride. Saying no is not wickedness. It's sign of maturity. You are not wicked. You are just putting you first. You are just putting you first. So when you say no, why would people, let's use the African setting as an example. Let's use that. Why would people go okay, I will give a straight example. Just please listen to me. And I know a lot of you would be able to relate to this illustration. I am a student in Africa or wherever. I should first go put myself in a school that I can afford. Yes, I should go put myself in a school that I can afford without the help of anyone. I should not go put myself in a school that I cannot afford and I reach out to you and say, please, can you help me with school fees? I cannot pay. How much is it? 20,000 pounds. Why would I do that? That is totally wrong. And if I reach out to you, you have the right to say no. You yourself, you're not attending a school that is worth 20,000 pounds. So these are clear examples. It's not pride. It's not wickedness. It's just something that doesn't align with you. I can't imagine you earning 2,000 pounds per month and somebody is asking you for 2,000 pounds. And all you're thinking is, how do I borrow to give to this person? You're not doing yourself any good. If you did that in 2025, please don't do it in 2026. Politely say no. I can't afford it. Politely say no. I can meet up with your demand. That's what you should do. It's not selfish to say no. But one of the common misconceptions when you say no, people think you are being selfish. But it's not selfish to say no. Respecting your limits and values is important for your well-being, and it will help you to show up for better days. It will help you to show up better for others. Saying no is not being selfish, but people think saying no is being selfish. Somebody asks you for something that you cannot afford. Somebody asks you for something that you can meet up with. It's appropriate to say no. It's not out of place when you say no. Truly, it's not out of place if you cannot meet up with that deadline. You're asking me for a fund and you're giving me a deadline, 2 weeks deadline. You're giving me. How do you want me to meet up with that deadline? So the best thing is to say, okay, sorry, I can't meet up. Sorry, no. So prioritize saying no to something that doesn't work for you in 2026. It's not selfish, although it's a misconception, but I'm telling you that you're not a selfish person if you say no. Secondly, another misconception is people think it's rejection. No, it's not rejection to say no. Saying no to a person or to a request isn't necessarily rejecting the person. How many of you applied for, a lot of people has applied for visa. They said no to the country. A lot of us are applied for grants. They said no. It's not rejection. When they say no, they're telling you try something else or try somebody else or try somewhere else. That's what they're telling us to do. But you being stuck there, or you saying, oh, what do I do now? What do I do now? It's you stealing your peace by yourself. It's not saying no, it's not rejection. You're not rejecting the person. You're not rejecting the person. It's just that it doesn't align with you. It doesn't align with your value. It doesn't align with your core value. It doesn't align with your goals and objectives. Please, as you go into 2026, please do say no when it's necessary. Say no when it doesn't align with you. Then thirdly, or fourthly, because I took from Angosasas, okay, another person, Osaze Gomudia say, saying no will certainly be one of my resolutions in 2026. Thank you so much for that resolution in 2026. If it doesn't, you don't just say no to everything, but if it doesn't align with your value and with your goals, you can say no. Fourthly, saying no. People think you need a cogent reason to say no, or you have to over-explain yourself to say no. Sometimes you may need a reason to say no, but you don't need a cogent reason to say no. You can just say no. Somebody is coming to you with a glass of Fanta or a glass of Coca-Cola, and you know you're diabetic. Don't be so quick to just open it and say it was given to me out of love. You could say no. I'm sorry. Just say no. You don't have to give the reason why you have to say no. Probably you don't want to tell the person, oh, yeah, it's because this person is diabetic or whatever. You don't have to give that reason. Just say no. I have a message. Just say no. Just say no. And that's okay. It's a misconception. You do not need a reason. Jaden, thank you so much You do not need a reason, a very cogent reason to say no. Usaze Ugbe, thank you for joining. Can you mute yourself, please? Please, Usaze Ugbe, you can mute yourself a little bit. Thank you.
Okay.
So what do you have to say? Let's just make it like a discussion. What do you have to say no in 2026? Can you hear me? Hello, what do you have to say no in 2026 as one of your resolution? Okay, I'm not sure she's hearing me clearly, but possibly she would respond later. Stop over-explaining yourself when you say no. You do not have to. Well, can you hear me?
I can hear you now.
So I said, what do you have to say no in 2026 as one of our resolution?
Oh, okay. I think saying no if it doesn't. I'm a Christian, so that's what I will project first.
Okay, that's fine.
Saying no, it's something that you should do if it doesn't align with what God actually wants. I'll start with that because I'm a Christian. Mm-hmm. That's why I said so before now.
Mm-hmm.
So that's one of it.
Okay, that makes sense. That's it. Just embodies everything we've been talking about. It's just a summary of everything we've been talking about. Whatever religion you are, I'm not doing this live to just the Christians alone. Anyone who cares to listen. Thank you, Atasa. Just got the number 3 gifter. Thank you so much for gifting me. I'm very grateful. So it's just the resolution we need to put up in 2026. A lot of us didn't do so well in 2025 because we refused to say no. A lot of people, they are dealing with some sort of health challenges because they couldn't say no. They couldn't say no to people because they say, I don't want to offend this person. The fear of being alone, the fear of offending people, no matter how much you do or how many yeses you give to people.
Okay, hello, excuse me, please. Okay. Can I ask a question?
Yes, please, go on.
What if it concerns your loved ones? Maybe your parents. It doesn't necessarily have to be your siblings.
Mm-hmm.
What if it's your parents? How do you say no? Basically, how do you say no?
There's no best way for saying no, but to say no politely. Please,
no.
Okay. Can you try and turn down the volume of your radio over there? It's echoing. But there is no best way to say no than to say no politely. But you have to say no if it doesn't align with you. Even if it's your parents, you could sit them down and speak to them and say, Dad and Mom, I need to discuss with you. You asked me for something, you requested something of me, but I just want to say no. Try and give them your reason for saying no, respectfully. Give them your reason for saying no. Don't do things that doesn't align with your value because it's coming from your parents or your loved ones. You have a right to say no. It gives you have the authority and the power to say no. So say no to whatever doesn't align with your goals and with your value politely. And do not over-explain yourself to anyone. It's a misconception. People think if I have to say no, I have to cook up an excuse, I have to cook up an explanation. When you give too much explanation, it means you're not confident of yourself. So
Okay.
Have I been able to answer that question?
Yeah, you have.
Okay. Do you have anything more to say? Okay.
What? How do you say no to your husband? I just asked how do you say no to your parents. Now I'm saying how do you say no to your husband?
Okay.
Knowing fully well that people believe that you should honor your husband.
Mm-hmm.
And what if your husband wants you to do something that you certainly do not like, and if you don't do it, it's going to put a crack on your marriage? What do you do in a case as such? What do you do?
Okay. First and foremost, I would say there is no stupid questions. There is no stupid question. Thank you for the question. How do you say no to your husband? First and foremost, the husband should not be angry with his wife for saying no. I'm going to leave that there. Then secondly, I'm going to say again, there is no better way of saying no than to say no respectfully if it doesn't align with you. Now,
even when you say no, it's gonna put a crack.
No,
on your marriage.
It won't put a crack if you respectfully say no. That's why I'm coming there. I said, okay, you have to sit that person down and explain. This is the reason why I can do what you've asked me to do, and this is my reason for saying no. But do not over-explain yourself. Every matured man,
okay,
and every matured woman should be able to understand when somebody says no with cogent reason. Not like you owe everybody a reason for saying no. Not like you owe everybody an explanation. But when it comes to your relative, your close pal, your spouse, your parents, you should have a reason for saying no. So there is no best way of saying no than to say no respectfully and giving them a cogent reason for saying no.
Okay, invariably you're saying we should have a cogent reason,
yeah,
for saying no to our spouses and our loved ones.
Yes.
But for strangers, we do not need to have a cogent reason.
No, you do not need to have you do not need to have a cogent reason. But if you wish to give anybody any reason, that's totally fine. But you do not need to have a cogent reason.
Okay.
Yes, you do not need to have a cogent reason. And you do not need to over-explain yourself. Over-explaining yourself, it means you're not a confident person. Do you notice that when you over-explain yourself to people, that's when they take you for granted?
Okay.
When you over-explain yourself to people, why did you not wash the dishes? I came back from work, I was tired, I was this, I was that. At the end of the day, they're still going to say, you never did well. You could just say, yeah, okay.
Cool. Okay, can I say something?
Yes,
but
please.
Having a cogent reason, I thought it's also showing a sign of responsibility, because when you do things and you don't even have a cogent reason for not doing that particular thing, it seems you're not responsible.
No, there is.
It just seems like you're not given a cogent reason because of your irresponsibility. What do you have to say about that?
Yeah, there is a difference between responsibility and saying no. Like I said before, somebody who says no to everything should be mindful. You can't say no to everything.
Okay.
I'm coming there to that topic. Like, Saying no has a
Okay.
consequence and it has benefits. You
Okay.
understand what I mean? Saying no has consequences and benefits as well. So people who's going to take advantage of this teaching, because I've said try to say no in 2026, you can go say no to something that's going to benefit you. That's not my business. You need to know what you are saying no to. I said say no to something that doesn't align with your value and your goals.
Yeah.
Don't say no to everything. Don't say no to everything, but when it doesn't, and if it doesn't align with your value, then you can say no. Okay, let's give an example. Where do you reside at the moment?
Yeah, I'm in Benin.
Okay, in Benin,
Nigeria.
Okay, Nigeria.
Nigeria.
That's perfect.
Yep.
Okay, I am from Nigeria. Of course, you would be able to relate with this explanation I want to give now. People back home, they ask sometimes, they demand sometimes for outrageous amounts of money.
Yeah.
You get what I mean? They demand, as it's Christmas season, sometimes they are not talking with their friends, they are not talking with their daughters and their sons because of Christmas. They have taken Jesus out of the picture and they've placed themselves at the center of Christmas celebration, which is totally wrong. They make outrageous demand. I have the right to say no. I can meet up with that. And
of course you do.
I do not have to explain.
Yeah, I understand that part.
That's when I say no when it doesn't align with you. I can say no and don't explain. Don't make demand of something you know is going to be difficult for you to get. Do not overuse people, whether mentally or psychologically or physically. Do not overuse people. When you feel you are being overused, say no. If you have a feeling of being overused, say no. Because what is your reason for saying no? I feel I'm being used. That's enough reason to say no.
Okay. I think we should do more of this live because I have so many questions. I think we should talk on.
Okay. Yeah, we may be.
It's quite late now.
Yeah.
I don't think we can go into that right now because it's a bit late. Mm-hmm. But I think we should do the live more often.
Okay. You know what? I think you should come up with a topic. Please just put it on the comment section. Just put it there that you would love us to discuss, because I've been the one talking and bringing up topic the whole time. I need somebody to bring up a topic where we can discuss, because I really enjoyed this one.
I'm doing it right away.
Okay, put it right up there, and I'm going to just say it out loud what we are going to discuss, and we'll try and come on live maybe tomorrow. Then you have to pick a time, or I pick a time from here. So, yeah, while she's writing that, I'll just quickly say saying no has consequences and benefits. One of the consequences of saying no is that you may end up offending people and stepping on toes. It's a consequence. You may end up offending people and stepping on toes. But like I said before, don't be scared to be on your own. Don't be scared to stand alone. But don't be a loner. I've explained the difference between being a loner and standing alone. Don't be scared to stand alone. Don't be a loner. So, if one of the consequences for saying no is that you will be stepping on people's toes and you will be offending people, but it is better to offend people than to offend yourself. It is better for people to be angry with you than for you to be angry with yourself in 2026. Omo Yetunde, let me invite her off if she's gonna join. So another benefit, so let's talk about the benefit for saying no. It gives you a sense of freedom and liberation. It means that you are in control of yourself. You are in control of what you do when you say no. Rather than put people in control of you, put yourself in control of yourself. Saying no genuinely with confidence, compassion, and honesty, it means we honor ourselves and our boundaries. Rather than honor people, honor yourself. And lastly, it helps you to be more productive and it enhances your ability and capability. Okay, let me quickly read that. You said we should talk about, I would love us to talk on moral decadence, its disadvantage, its advantage, if any, and its disadvantage. This is a very brilliant one. Thank you so much, Osaze Ogbemudia. I like this. Let's talk about moral decadence as well as moral decline. Its advantages and its disadvantages. Okay, you know what? We're coming live tomorrow. This is going to be a very brilliant topic, and we're going to stay long on this topic. It could last for an hour. So I won't be the only person talking. We would discuss it together. So let's end this live now.
Yeah. All right.
So what time should we come on live tomorrow? Okay.
I think you should pick a time and
okay.
I will check it if
okay. I would pick a time, then I would send the notification across to, I'll just put it on my page. So obviously you will definitely get the notification. Thank you so much for coming on my live. I'm very, very grateful. Thank you so much for coming on my live. And tomorrow we will talk about your topic. Oh, I do not have my pen here, but I hope I remember moral decadence, its advantages and its disadvantages in our society today. That's a very brilliant topic. Please, everyone watching and listening to me today, we'll be talking about a very interesting topic tomorrow. And it was raised by Osaze Ogbemudia. We'll be talking about it tomorrow evening or in the afternoon. It depends. I'm gonna set the live. You will definitely get the notification. So please try and be here tomorrow to support us. You can pen down your question ahead of tomorrow. You can pen down your question ahead of tomorrow. We would be able to talk about it. Thank you so much, everybody, for coming on my live. I am very, very grateful. I really did enjoy this live. And I want to say, God bless you all. Bye-bye.